welcome to iReadit, bringing you your daily dose of the internet for Monday, January 8th, 2018. I am Michael Schwahn.
And I'm Nathan Wood.
Please remember, everyone, you can help support our show by going to patreon.com/dailyinternet. In addition, we do go live Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Alaska time on Facebook and YouTube. And if you have stories you would like us to talk about, please send them to our subreddit, which is our iRedditcast, or via email, which is feedback.ireddit@gmail.com. Nathan?
Yeah?
How you doing today?
I'm pretty good. I drank a lot of coffee today.
Yeah? Was it awesome?
Dude, you know you're a coffee drinker when you drink so much coffee that you piss and you can tell which kind of roast it is.
That's scary.
Slow roast, Arabica blend. Divine.
Isn't it Arabica?
I don't know how you pronounce it.
I
always thought it was Arabica because I thought it was like Arabia. It might be Arabica. I don't fucking know.
Arabic, though? Like... Arabica? I don't know. I'm confused now. How dare you, Nathan?
Easily. And again, over and over again, repeatedly.
You're the worst. Absolute worst. It's all right.
Yep.
How was your weekend? You have a good weekend?
Oh, it's pretty good. I fucked up once on my New Year's resolution, but I quickly fixed it, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to stop drinking so much soda and everything. So I stopped drinking soda, I stopped drinking energy drinks and everything like that. I've done it before, or I've tried to do it before, but I'm doing it again, right? I had one soda on the first, and I had 2 sips of a Mountain Dew because it was like early morning. I woke up and I completely forgot that I was doing it. And then after those 2 sips, I was like, oh, fuck. And I like put it down and somebody else drank it. And I have my bottle of water here.
I see that you're starting to get some scruff back.
Mm-hmm. It's coming back. It's got the 5 o'clock shadow that looks so bad. It looks like I'm from the first Punisher movie.
I don't know. It kind of looks pretty good right now.
Not the good one, the one from like the 80s or early 90s.
Like, your lighting is shit, though, so it looks like you got like a real nice shadow going on. In person, it probably looks like a stringy mess.
Well, I don't know. People
either.
were commenting that it was coming back, and I was like, yeah, it better fucking come back.
Is it itchy?
All the fucking time. It is the fucking worst. I can't go like this without it itching everywhere, and I go like that all the time because like my lips are chapped and I like breaking them apart for some fucking odd reason.
Yeah, that's when I know that I really need to shave, is when my face gets itchy. I'm like, oh god, we're at the itchy point. We made a go shave tonight, right now.
See, that's the opposite of me. I get to the itchy point and I'm like, finally, yes, keep going, faster.
Yeah, but I shave, you don't.
Yeah.
We get to see you transform back into your old self over the next, year?
Like a very, very slow werewolf transformation.
Super slow. It's all right.
But I want to keep, like, the sides of my head shaved. I like that.
Yeah. No, it looked really good because he did that first. He did the fade all the way around first, and then he went for your friggin' face, and I was like, no, that could have just stayed just like that.
Yeah, see, I just... From here, it's inspired me to actually shave the side of my head for Vikingness.
Good. Do it. It looked real good. I can attest to this.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you ready to get us started?
Yeah.
You suppose? Maybe?
I guess so.
Cool. All right, I'm going to hit this button then.
5.
Suicide at Chinese iPhone factory reignites concern over working conditions.
This is submitted by Finn Vaught to Our World News.
So, now, depends on how you want to look at the numbers here, on what your consideration of it is, but there has been a suicide that has taken place at the Foxconn factory in China, which is where they make, this particular factory is where they're making the iPhone X, which is Apple's current new flagstone device. It's the full screen crazy, oh my god, it can read your face. Well, in that factory, a 31-year-old named Li Ming has decided to jump to his death from the top of said building and did not survive the fall. And so that reignites a previous discussion about possible working conditions in China, especially because since Apple has existed, they have had 17 suicides at their factory.
Damn.
However, they have also...
That's a lot. That's a fucking lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Is that specifically at the factory or people who worked at the factory?
People who worked at the factory.
Okay.
And
that would be fucked up if that didn't even include the people who just worked there and committed suicide off of the factory grounds.
Well, and
I just assumed everyone was committing suicide on the factory.
Well, and also they've employed something like 4 million people total across their existence, And compared to regular suicide numbers, it's actually less than average compared to, like, you have this number of people, how many of them are going to kill themselves? So that's why it's, like, really want to consider it on terms of on a larger scale of, you know, when you have a significantly large number of people, there are going to be one out of every so many that end up killing themselves because humans are defective in that regard. Now, the other question is then, why are they killing themselves? Is it because of something to do with work, or is it from other, you know, sources?
Yeah, if a bunch of people that are at the same place that are committing suicide, I'm going to assume right off the bat that it's overwork. It's the classic Japanese. What is it called?
This isn't in Japanese. This is Chinese.
No, I know, but the Japanese, it's so common for them that they have a word for it, and I forget what the word is.
I could not tell you. I'm bad at it.
I'll find the word, but yeah, it's pretty much that. It's just suicide by overstress at work.
Karoshi.
Yeah, karoshi.
So, in any case, they're looking into it as they always do in terms of whenever anyone commits suicide on, you know, while they're, you know, working for Apple, because they want to find out whether it is they're doing
Their fault
or
or not.
Yeah, and you know, there's been lots of criticism in the past over Apple's factory conditions, sometimes, you know, describing them as nothing more than mechanical sweatshops, and it's hard to say when you are this far away, because they can present good pictures and good video that's like, no, it looks great. And, you know, Tim Cook himself has talked about how they have restaurants and movie theaters there in the factory for the workers. But just because they're there doesn't mean that they are able to get the time to or can afford to use them, depending on whether they're free or not. So we're missing a lot of information in terms of what the actual conditions are for Apple factories. But
Well, I mean, I'm glad that someone's going to be going in and looking at it, right?
Joe says,
No, not yet.
Joe says chemicals from the iPhones make them crazy. Is that why?
I mean, chemicals used to make people who made top hats crazy.
Yeah, it was the
Hats
mercury.
in general.
It was the mercury.
Yep.
That's why it was mad as a hatter, because they went crazy from the mercury for curing the hat.
Yeah. Okay. So if anyone likes Donald Glover, right?
So
They
everybody.
Everybody. They should go to YouTube and find his old like YouTube skits because there's some fucking hilarious ones. It's under Derrick Comedy, DERRICK Comedy, and you'll find crazy hilarious things like bro rape and about other things like the evolution of a Mad Hatter. That one's fantastic.
So, interesting thing on Donald Glover, by the way, is, wasn't it, I think it was even you that like 6 months ago we were talking and you had mentioned how he was trying to put Childish Gambino behind him forever? Who was it that we were talking to or with or about?
I don't remember, but I remember that being said. I might have heard that one from the other white Mike.
Well, either way, so that was said and was what my understanding of his situation was, yet the Childish Gambino is performing at the Grammys.
Well, yeah, he's still making fucking money.
I suppose, but like, if you
Can't
want
quite
to
put it past him yet. He has to continue to do other stuff for it so that he can do other stuff for other things.
I suppose, but I mean, if you want to leave something behind you, performing at like the biggest award ceremony for the genre is not exactly.
Wanting and doing are two separate things, Michael.
I suppose. Very well. I will accept that explanation. On the note, though, if you or anyone else has anything along the lines of suicidal ideations, please talk to somebody. Like, I understand we took that story and more focused on the potential of what situations could lead to such things, but that doesn't change that somebody decided that they disliked life so much that they would take their own. So, real quick, just as a note, if you have any thoughts or know anyone who you think might, call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, which is 1-800-273-8255. That is 1-800-273-8255. That is
in
their,
America.
Yeah, that is their entire purpose, is to help you. If you are unable to contact that number, then please do a quick Google for who you should call.
Mm-hmm. If you're in another country.
Just,
in the off chance you're listening to us in another country.
There actually are some.
Really?
According to our analytics, yeah.
All right. I have another idea for another marker for our donations, by the way.
What's that?
So
Is this going to replace the 150 marker?
no, this will be like 200 or something.
Well, so
Oh, okay. So making 150 again?
yeah.
Sure. Okay. So there's this card game that my friends invented in high school, and it's already spread partially in Russia and partially in China, I think. But if it's a really fun card game that you can do with a deck of 52 cards, especially if you're fucking bored sitting there doing nothing with a bunch of friends. If we make that, I will make a video on how to play that game.
Okay, sure. Force you to do something creative with your time?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And I'll post it on YouTube for everybody. So only one person needs to make that.
That'd be cool. I want to see it.
4,
Study finds that narcissists like fellow narcissists on Instagram.
This was submitted by Gaytech03 to R Science.
So here's the real question, Nathan.
Gaddick? It might be Gaddick.
Good tech?
Good Tech? I think so.
GA Tech?
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's the real question, though, Nathan. You as
Georgia Tech. Boom.
Oh, yeah, that works. So here's the real question, though, Nathan. You, as somebody who despises themselves, is a lord of self-deprecation. Do you follow other people who self-deprecate and are lords of despising themselves?
The Lords of the Underworld. Yeah, actually, I do. A lot of my so I don't have a real big Instagram thing because, like, I don't really Instagram. It's not really my thing.
You totally should right now. Showcase your transformation.
I guess.
I don't know, dude.
I do a lot of Facebooking. I don't really do Instagram because I'm not a huge fan of pictures. Like, I don't really like taking pictures.
So here's my question now is you do a lot of Facebooking in the way that I do a lot of Facebooking, which is literally we just share shitloads of memes. Does that count as Facebooking?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you're on Facebook doing stuff.
I will accept that.
I am a meme lord, all right?
Rise.
People come to me for funnies.
Rise of the meme lord. Bow to him.
Thank you.
Mostly you are bowing because your stomach hurts from laughing too much.
You may all rise and you may all sit down.
Okay, I'm sitting.
But, like, I do a lot of Facebooking, but, yeah, I do follow a shitload of self-deprecating people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're, like, the funniest. Self-deprecating humor is, like, the best form of humor.
Well,
if you can't make fun of yourself, then, like, what's the point in making fun of anything?
I don't know. I make fun of myself all the time, much to Jennifer's irritation.
Yo, I'm a fucking joke. Like, boom.
Damn, Nathan, that was cold. Anyway, so this study finds that people who love themselves like to follow other people that love themselves.
Fucking narcissists?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I fucking bet.
Oh man, look at me! I look so great. I want to look at other people.
I bet there's
great.
a study that says narcissists hate looking at self-deprecating people, and I bet there's another study that says self-deprecating people hate looking at narcissists.
Probably, we all hate each other when you get down to it.
The person who says opposites attract is fucking stupid. Sure, opposites attract in science, but when it comes to people are attracted to people who are like them. People like to hang out with people who are like them.
In some cases, like, I mean, I think there's a level where it can go too far. Like, I do not believe that I would get along with a copy of myself.
I can understand that. You're hard to get along with anyone.
Wow. Bus.
Where's that bus? I'm going to throw you under it.
Nice, buddy. I love you, too.
Yeah, anytime.
So, yeah, there's not a lot to say on this study beyond that. I mostly wanted to include it. One, because the internet apparently thought it was important, and two, because I wanted to ask Nathan if it worked in more than one way.
Yeah, it goes in a lot of different ways. I fucking subscribe to so many people who are just like, yo, your humor's fucking hilarious. Let's post other things like it. For instance, I'm a huge fan of nihilist memes. Nihilist memes are one of my favorite things in the world.
They're great. I tag you and Kobe in them all the time.
I love it because I feel like I'm a nihilist.
You want to know
a hedonistic nihilist, don't get me wrong.
One of the things that I do enjoy about Facebook is, like, its algorithm is smart in some ways and really dumb in others. Like, it's really dumb in terms of when it shows you and what it shows you that it thinks you think is important.
Because we are nihilist, Lebowski.
But the other interesting thing is that there are several Facebook groups that me and Nathan both follow. We both follow the same groups, Yet somehow we will share multiple posts from the same group in the same day, and none of those posts are the same posts.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Like, he will share things, and I'm like, I was literally looking at that group like 5 minutes ago. How did I not see that post? That's hilarious.
Sometimes I believe it's like older posts that are recirculating back around, but like, yeah, it's fucking weird. I don't know what Facebook algorithm is. Like, it's
strange.
Couldn't tell you.
3,
Belize, home of the world's largest barrier reef in the Western Hemisphere, has permanently suspended oil operations in its ocean waters.
It was submitted by Zephyr 1886 to our uplifting news.
Yep, they said you're not allowed to do any type of oil production.
Yeah, that's because
surveying.
the Great Barrier Reef is fucking dead.
Yeah, that's the unfortunately this won't help fix that. Like the reason the Great Barrier Reef is dying and dead in a lot of places is because of the increased ocean temperature caused by global warming, caused by climate change, caused by human beings being shitbags. But this won't reverse that. We would have had to fix things significantly quicker than we have to try to reverse that. And, well, we suck. So, but what this will do is it will help protect the ecosystems that do still exist in the area.
That's pretty cool, though. I'm all for this.
And in terms of the money that Belize is going to lose from it, they said that they're not concerned about it. They make a crap load of money off of tourism, and they are more concerned about losing their tourism industry due to the damage of the oil industry than they are about losing the money from oil.
Because travel is always going to be a thing, and oil will run out.
Well, especially as travel continues to improve. Like,
especially since travel is pretty much the only thing that humans are going to be able to do once you get fucking robots everywhere.
All the robots. What do you do? I travel and I eat.
I have a blog about eating.
Yep. I make money by advertising robots.
And then we'll get our own hyperlanes where they're all just tubes that'll shoot you to Belize.
That'd be cool. They're still trying to get Hyperloop to work, and it has a lot of potential, but geez, does it have a lot of hurdles.
Yo, it'll be like Futurama. I fucking love that shit.
2,
Nebraska introduces law to reinstate net neutrality.
This is submitted by Mavia to our technology.
So, you know how the Trump administration has just been, like, ripping things down and handing it to the states to deal with?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just going to keep doing that, apparently.
Oh, except for marijuana.
Well, that's just Sessions, and multiple people across the entire, even, like, the actual United States Congress has told Sessions to shut the fuck up and sit the hell down.
Yo, you know what stoners have done now because he tried to do that?
What's that?
When they go to smoke, they call it a Jeff session.
Nice.
Instead of a smoke session.
I'm sure he hates that if he has found out about it.
Yo,
yet.
I think it's hilarious. Good on you, everyone on our trees, because that's fucking hilarious.
Anyway, so Nebraska has introduced the Net Neutrality Act, or LB 856, which would basically take all of the former federal rules, all of them, and just go, well, these are what Nebraska uses now. So everything that the FCC had before with Title II and all of that stuff with net neutrality, they're just literally going to copy and paste it into Nebraska law.
I love that. They're like, yeah, fuck you guys.
Like, and they're not alone either. Washington is also looking to do this. California is also talking about doing this. So, I mean, like, and also across multiple states, they're already, like, suing the FCC and working towards implementing rules. Like, it's really interesting what's going on in terms of, like, the federal government is just forcing more and more states to be on their own in terms of, like, states' rights and states' rules.
Mm-hmm.
I
mean, they're just like, hey, let's all about the states. Give all of the rights back to the states.
I suppose.
Which is kind of good and bad in some ways.
I mean, it's going to mean that what'll end up happening is that there will be a few holdout states that people just kind of mass exodus from.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will be seeing possibly, I doubt it. I really doubt it, because even if a state's bankrupt, they won't fucking dissolve. But, like, I would like to see a state dissolve in my time into the states around them.
Illinois had been talking about it just like a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
They are so broke and have no revenue that is being generated that is reliable that they were talking about selling themselves off to the surrounding states.
You know what they need to do? They need to bring in a giant music festival. Right?
Just once a year?
Once a year, maybe twice a year. You know what it's going to be called?
What?
Bring the Illinois.
That's terrible.
but it would make so much money.
I don't think it'd be enough to like keep the state afloat.
Well, I mean, probably not, but it would be fucking cool.
Yeah, once. It's their final hurrah, essentially.
Yeah.
Bring the Illinois.
No, that would be kill the Illinois.
Sure, that's fine.
And then they would bring in kill the noise.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
1.
Rest in peace, astronaut John Young, the first man to get yelled at for smuggling a sandwich into space.
This is submitted by Burning Midnight to R, not the Onion.
This is the moments when the internet shines about what it cares about over other things. Not about Donald Trump and all of the statements he's made recently about how much of a stable-minded genius he is. Nope.
That's so stupid.
Nope. Instead, how about we just talk about how great it is that an astronaut got in trouble for smuggling a corned beef sandwich into space.
Yo, I can understand. First, corned beef can get everywhere. Second, that is amazing. Corned beef is fucking delicious. Now, I'm going to take this moment to segue a little bit.
Oh.
Michael, what is your favorite sandwich?
My favorite I really like egg salad sandwiches.
Okay, that's a pretty good one. Not gonna lie. Of the salads, that's probably one of the better ones.
What is yours?
Mine is either a pastrami on rye,
Okay.
hot pastrami on rye, or a Reuben, which is really just a hot pastrami on rye, but with sauerkraut on it.
Nice. Yeah, those are both real good.
Yeah, I eat those all of the time.
I really like hot sandwiches.
Dude, hot sandwiches are by far the best sandwiches. If you don't have a toasted bread for your sandwich, you are doing something wrong. Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be toasted. I mean, if you have like a really thick like hoagie bread or something like that.
Okay, sure. I can understand if you have like a thicker bread, but if you're eating it on like regular sandwich bread, sliced bread, you need it toasted. There's no way you can have that not toasted.
So, anyway, this was back in 1965. They get launched up into space. They were meant to be him and his partner were meant to be testing how astronauts might be able to eat in space. And hence his co-pilot's surprise when he pulls out a sandwich, literally right out of his pocket.
That's amazing.
And he goes, "What is it?" "It's a corned beef sandwich." "Where'd you get that from?" "I brought it with me. Let's see how it tastes." "Smells, doesn't it?" This is all on recording. "Yeah, it's breaking up. I'm gonna stick it in my pocket." Is it? I thought it was a thought anyways. Yep, not a very good one. Pretty good, though, if it would have just held together.
Did he get to eat it?
They tried. The reason that...
I told you, it's corned beef. It fucking goes everywhere.
Well, and even...
You can barely eat that motherfucker on Earth.
Well, and even beyond that, the concern, like, astronauts don't get bread. And the reason being is that crumbs are basically unavoidable. And on Earth, crumbs just fall to the floor. In space, the crumbs go wherever the hell they want, which they're concerned about it getting into components and shorting them out. Or, there's a bunch of potential...
Yeah, they're worried about him crumbing.
Exactly, about him crumbing.
On the inside, specifically.
But he has passed away today at the age of 87, and he is a pretty substantial astronaut that I hadn't really heard of before that. He flew on the Gemini missions, he's piloted the space shuttle, and is one of 3 people to have ever been to the moon on 2 separate occasions.
Yeah, a lot of people only remember, like, the 2 first people on the moon.
Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's because no one would remember Buzz Aldrin if it weren't for the fact that Buzz Lightyear is named after him.
Also, we wouldn't remember Buzz Aldrin if it wasn't for how hilarious he had been over the last year.
That is also true. Holy shit, his facial expressions are top-notch. They're just 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Yo, name one other astronaut and or cosmonaut that isn't this guy.
I couldn't tell
I can name one.
Who?
Laika the dog.
Sure, that was the first creature in space, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, first creature from Earth in space is what I should say. All right, time to get into something real sad. You ready?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Actually, hang on.
You make me sad.
There we go. A call for help didn't save a Matsu woman, and now her husband is charged with murder.
This was submitted by Athena Latina, the fun fact enthusiast, to our iReadit cast.
So you want to talk about something a little close to home? A still a woman called Alaska State Troopers for help early New Year's Day, saying that she had locked herself in her bathroom and was afraid of her husband. About 3 hours later, she was pronounced dead.
Ooh.
And the troopers are now reviewing their actions because this has been a problem house. It's been a house that they had multiple calls for before, all for the same thing in terms of domestic concern, domestic violence, and not just from inside the house, from neighbors as well. And the question that is now being raised is in terms of the lack of concern sometimes that happens with repeat offenders. Like, if you have a neighbor that's real drunk and rowdy and someone calls the cops on him and calls the cops on him again and again, like the fourth time they show up, they're going to be like, all right, Mr. Fitchner, it's time to go back inside and lay down. They get real comfortable and casual with the situation. They don't treat every situation as though it was the first time they'd been contacted on it. And in this case, because they didn't treat it like the first time they'd been contacted on it, didn't immediately respond as though it was extremely large concern, she is now dead.
Yeah, that's real unfortunate. And I can smell a lawsuit occurring too.
Quite possibly. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he is currently on $250,000 bail and has to have a third party accompany him at all times.
And it's understandable that he's, maybe not charged with, but held on the suspicion of murder, because it's been a bit of complaints apparently.
Well, and also even beyond that, like, he is. I mean, it's also first degree murder too, which is
premeditated and everything.
Yeah, so.
Man, this is a sad situation. Matt Sue has had some problems. Like last year, they had the David Grunwald thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a 15 or 16-year-old boy who was taken out to the Butte area, which is like a very wooded area, by a bunch of his friends, and they killed him because he had smoked all their pot.
Yep, I remember. So, yeah, about that. I hate stories like this for so many reasons, because there's so little to say beyond, like, this is what happened, it sucks.
Yo, we have a high-profile murder case being heard tomorrow at the courthouse.
Yeah?
Yes. It is for Anthony Michael Pisano or Michael Anthony Pisano. I don't remember his exact name. But it's for the Roy's Coins murders.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, there's three people shot Roy's Coins, and he's the suspect.
I'm not dead!
Ohio man's obituary blames Browns for his demise.
This is submitted by Chadwick via email.
Why did I just lose your video?
Hello?
Oh, there it goes. That was weird. Yeah,
You lost my video?
It's back now. But it was definitely gone for a minute. I'm not sure why it disappeared for a bit, but it was definitely gone for a moment. Anyway, so back to this. So if you haven't heard, the Cleveland Browns haven't been doing real well. They were 1-15 last season and are 0-15 this season.
Yikes.
Yeah, they're doing terrible.
The only time I've ever heard the Browns mentioned around a bowl is someone saying, I've got to take the Browns to the Super Bowl, and they were talking about pooping.
Well, that's, I mean, about equivalent to how good they have done in recent years. But in his obituary, he says he passed just before the Browns were prepared to turn the corner.
Are they going to turn the corner?
No.
Oh, get destroyed, dude.
Yep.
Sorry, man. That's real unfortunate.
Yeah. But at least he was in good spirits about it, I guess. Well, now he's in real good spirits.
Ouch.
Yep.
Michael.
I hate myself. Hey,
Yeah.
Hey, Nathan.
Yep.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks! Look at me!
What did you care about in the last 72 hours?
This thing that you posted for me.
Yeah?
Pretty good.
Yeah. I thought you might. Trump compares his mental capacity to Reagan, who suffered from Alzheimer's.
This is submitted by Image Poem to Our Politics. So I was having a conversation with my friend, my roommate, actually, Matt. He was asking the question, why do Republicans always say that Reagan was the best Republican? And I feel like it's because he was the last good Republican.
I guess so, maybe.
And that was questionable. A lot of people still hate Reagan.
Yeah, no, a lot of
Because
people
like,
do.
who else do you have besides that? You have Nixon, who's not any good.
Well, I mean, it's
You
hard.
had George Bush Sr. and Jr.
Nixon ended poorly, but
Did he start well?
wasn't Nixon the one that was the only president to ever serve 3 terms?
I don't remember that.
Because president that served.
Are you sure it wasn't his vice? Because he would have been able to finish Nixon's term out as well as do both of his.
Oh no, I'm sorry. It was FDR. It was Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Sorry. Why did I think it was Nixon?
So like they haven't had any good Republicans for a long time. So they have to cling to their image of Reagan.
Yeah, because
At least in the last 20 years, maybe even longer.
I say because FDR served 4 terms.
And I'm sorry, Republicans, but like, name some dude better in the last like 20, 30 years that's held office very, very fucking high up, like president. That's better.
I don't know, Nathan. I'm also not very. I'm pretty damn shit at presidential history.
Yeah.
Like I can try and see if there is a quick like search that tells me who the presidents are and which office they were. List of the United States presidents. Yeah, thanks Wikipedia. Trying to get down to the bottom. Okay. So we had Bush Republican, Clinton Democrat, Bush Republican, Reagan Republican, Carter Democrat, Gerald Ford Republican, Richard Nixon Republican, Lyndon Johnson Democrat, and he became the president because of JFK getting shot, who was a Democrat. Eisenhower was Republican.
Hey, how warmly do people talk about Eisenhower?
Dude, I don't know. I mean,
Have you heard anybody go like, "Oh man, you know who my favorite president was? Eisenhower."
Like here's
Eisenhower.
Here's the other
Great.
problem with that though is that he like that was from 49 to 52. Like we're getting too far back for people to remember. Truman Democrat, Roosevelt Democrat, Herbert Hoover Republican, Coolidge Republican, Harding Republican, Woodrow Wilson Democrat, Taft Republican, Theodore Roosevelt Republican. Like yeah, like after
So yeah, but that's what I was saying. In the last like 20, 30 years, maybe even 40 maximum.
yeah. I don't know. But
There's been no real good recent Republicans.
There have also been, some questionable Democrats, so...
Don't get me wrong. There are very questionable Democrats and some pretty shitty Democrats, too. But, like, goddamn.
Now, in response to Michael Wolff's book, Fire and Fury, we already talked about it. We talked about it last week about the statements coming from Bannon. There's also been a lot of talk about Donald Trump's health, because people like to talk about people in
Sanity?
and just people in office in general, especially the ones that are over the age of, 70, generally get talked about a decent bit of, are they still healthy enough to serve? And, there's also a lot of questions about Donald Trump's sanity. Well, he took to his Twitter and said that he was a very stable-minded genius. And that he likens himself to Reagan.
Yeah, I don't believe he's a stable-minded genius in the slightest.
I also want to know by what criteria he is labeling himself a genius, because, if it's...
So Joseph in the chat says, yeah, but then Democrats have Clinton, and that's just the stain that you won't come out. I would also like to raise you Bush Jr., which everyone hated, as well as our current president, Donald Trump, which still
has the lowest approval rating in history.
In history.
Maintains the worst approval rating flat. Just continues to be despised by the vast majority of people. But in any case, it is still entertaining that he compares himself to Reagan, which is one of the more Bush at one point had a very high approval rating.
Sure, yeah.
And
Bush Sr. even.
Yeah, but Reagan was a very controversial president that had a lot of people against him, that a lot of people did not like him. And that's who you choose to compare yourself to?
Yeah. Yeah, it's he's astounding. Every turn, man. Everything that comes out of this man's fucking mouth is absolutely flabbergasting.
It's impressive is the words I'll use.
Yeah. I wanted to use better words.
So mine is I realize. There we go. Today I learned that Frank Sinatra's acceptance speech for a Legend Award at the 1994 Grammys was cut short due to commercial breaks. In response, Billy Joel stopped halfway through his performance of The River of Dreams later on, simply looking at his watch and saying, "Valuable advertiser time going by."
This is submitted by Throwaway YY to our Today I Learned. Damn, Billy Joel, you fucking... Oh, my God, you the goddamn champ.
That is
Stand up for Frank Sinatra. That's what's up.
our pro revenge.
Yeah. Yo, okay, so real talk. Speaking of stuff like this, so you know the band System of a Down?
Yep.
When they did play music and everything at shows and everything,
Yep.
their live performances were astounding. It was really good.
Okay.
Except for ones where they had to play at big, like, shows.
Why?
Like the Grammys or Oscars or anything like that.
Why?
Because they were a punk band at heart. They did that shit on purpose.
They played it bad on purpose?
On purpose.
Why?
Because they're a punk band at heart.
I don't know what that means, Nathan.
It's because you're not fucking punk, Michael.
No, I'm not. I got an Eevee on my hat, and I play League of Legends.
Yo, there are plenty of people who wear Eevee hats and play League of Legends who are punk. Plenty. But you're not. It's something that you have to have.
Are you?
I would like to think so, but I can't really self-assess myself. I don't think I'm punk. I think I'm pretty much a poser, but I'm also fairly self-deprecating and have terrible self-esteem.
I think that's just part of existing in the 21st century.
That's also fair. That could be a punk thing. I don't know. Punk is so weird. It's awesome. It's just a spark, you know? It's fucking punk.
Planeswalker Spark?
No, well, it's kind of. It's a punk spark.
No, Nathan. Just
It's like the same thing, except instead of walking planes, you're fucking punk.
no. I don't think you are.
Wow. Who are you to judge who's punk or not? You're not punk. That must make me punk because I can judge you saying whether you're punk or not.
I can judge you too.
Bullshit! You don't even know.
I'm judgmental.
It's like sus. You can't accurately tell someone is sus or not.
What is sus?
Exactly.
What is it?
Exactly.
Just do you know?
No.
Oh. You're stupid. All right. We're going to get out of here, everybody. If you would please consider supporting this show, go to patreon.com/dailyinternet. Follow and share the show on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. All of those are at iReaditCast. You can download the show and take it with you to go on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play, and 5-star reviews on all of those platforms helps us immensely. If you got stories you want us to talk about or just got something to say, go ahead and leave it on our subreddit, which is iReaditCast. Leave it in an email, which is feedback.ireddit@gmail.com, or call and leave us a voicemail at 508-738-2278. If you want to follow me on social media, I am at Schwahn Michael, and Nathan is at Bimenstein. Go follow his Instagram and make him care about it more. That's it, everybody. That is your 411th dose of the internet. I am Michael Schwahn.
And I'm Nathan Wood.
And please remember, everybody,
Don't get limited!
have a good day, everyone.